So Amir, the first defence of your title, do you think the pressure's on right at the beginning here?
Yeah, pressure's always on. When you're fighting for a world title fight and you're defending your world title fight, it's a big fight for both, not only me and not only for Salita. It's a big fight for us because I don't want to lose my title, and we're both hungry fighters, young fighters, and Salita wants to win the title. But he's up against a guy who's even hungrier than him. Who doesn't want to give up that title? Who doesn't want to give him that title? So if he wants the title, he has to do whatever he has to. But I'm not going to give up on this fight. I know this fight is going to be so explosive. I can't see it going the full 12 rounds. It's going to be very explosive, but it's going to be exciting to watch for the fans. Maybe it might not be that exciting for us in the ring, but it might be very exciting for the fans.
And of course, you're training out in the States, and Salita trains in New York. Have you heard much about him out there? Has he got a reputation already?
Yeah, a lot of people know Salita down there, and they talk highly of him. So if I go into this fight and I put a good performance and I beat Salita with a good performance, then a lot of people are going to start believing in how good Amir Khan is. It's going to build my exposure. It's exposure in America as well. It's going to bring my popularity. A lot of people start thinking, yeah, Amir Khan must be good. Taking out Salita, but not only taking him out, not even beating him. I want to beat him in a style where no one, not even he thought he could get beat. But I'm a different class.
Do you think that you've proved a lot of the critics wrong now that you've become the world champion, especially in the UK?
Yeah, definitely. After that defeat against Prescott, a lot of people thought, that was it. Amir Khan, well, he was one of them guys who we thought would be good, and he was a letdown or whatever. But whoever thought within 3 fights I'll come back stronger. I changed from a boy to a man. I think to see if a champion, if a guy's going to be champion, is when he tastes his defeat and how he comes from a defeat or a knockout. It reminds me how David Haye come from the defeat against Carl Thompson, and he become a unified world champion, and now moving up to heavyweight and winning it, hopefully becoming a heavyweight world champion as well. So it just shows, that's how you tell if a guy's a champion, if he's made a champion. But all these guys who have never tasted defeat and who are having easy fights there and picking easy fights, that people know the truth out there. And people know I'm not one of them guys who picks easy fights. This is a big and tough fight for me. I didn't have to pick this fight, but I wanted this fight just to prove to people that, look, I'm fighting a guy who's undefeated, who's a good fighter, and who wants to fight for my title, and who's a mandatory.
And it's been billed as this kind of war of religions, and it's perhaps not a fair billing, but I mean it is an interesting element to the mix, isn't it?
It's an interesting element in a way where it's the first ever Muslim and Jewish religious guys who are Jewish and a guy who is a Muslim world title fight. That's never ever happened in history. But really, religion, we keep keeping out of it. This is a sport. Me and Salita are both professional sportsmen and both professional fighters, and we respect each other's religion, and we know that this fight is not all about the religion thing. It's about us winning the fight in style, and this fight, this is our future. This is where our future it might lead to better and bigger things, or it might not lead to anything. It's a gamble, and we're taking that gamble. And when people start bringing this religious thing into it, I think it's nonsense, because we got more serious things to worry about.
Do you think that's why there's such a respect between you guys, because you are both religious and true to your religions and quite young?
That's right. Yeah, we both. I'm 22. I think Salita is like 25, and we both religious fighters. I did my pilgrimage this year, but we keep it very privately to each other. We keep it between ourselves and our camp. And Salita is the same way. He's a very nice guy, comes across very down to earth, and they're the guys who you have to be worried about, because they don't have to be big headed, because they know that they got skill and they got talent in the ring. That's why they don't have to be big headed or arrogant or giving a lot of verbal abuse when you're in the press conference. So I have a lot of respect for him, but coming December 5th, it will be a tough fight, but it'll be exciting.